Everyone, it's me, Idris. So, Justin and Brandon are not going to be able to record and, get me on the line this time. So, I'm just deciding to just read the Patriots off myself in my own time. So, we have 2 new Patriots today. Let's see who we have. First, Deborah Gilbert Pressman. Deborah, I just want to thank you for becoming a Patriot. You threw your money in the pot, and now you're supporting these 2. Thank you very much. Thank you for your patronage. And last but not least, we have Jeremy Webb. Jeremy, let me tell you, you are web slinger. That's right. You're the new Spider-Man. We love you like a brother. Thank you for your patronage. All right, guys, this is Idris. I'm getting out. I got a few things to get done. But, again, keep on supporting the show. And stay lovely. Goodbye.
Medium popcorn. We are 2 niggas spoiling movies. Yeah. Brandon Collins, that's me, and Justin Brown for your movie needs. Medium popcorn. Woo! You haven't seen it, well, we're gonna spoil it. Spoil it in your face. That's your warning. So if you get pissed, it's all your fault.
Clap your hands, stomp your feet, everybody. It's a holiday. Welcome to Medium Popcorn. This is your boy Brandon Collins.
Guys, it's Justin Brown. What's going on?
Medium Popcorn, niggas spoiling movies. And we're spoiling this HBO Max movie that, again, proves what I said at the beginning of all this shit. These movies are not good. There's a reason why they were like, hey, we're just going to put them on the streamers and stuff. I am cautiously optimistic about Mortal Kombat, but I'm also like, don't have much dialogue. Just have the fighting. Because the fighting in this movie, that's all I wanted.
Yeah.
I put my fucking Bose sound bar up. I was like, let's go, baby. And then had some of the worst dialogue. I was like, why is this so bad? And why are all these actors so seriously talking about Godzilla?
Yes.
Like, I get it. We talk about how much we love the Dark Knight and stuff like that. And those are superhero characters, right? But there was like some nuance to it. Here, it's like, yo, we got to get Kong to the anti-world. And it's like, what?
If we don't get him there in time, Godzilla will come up and he'll kill him.
It's so crazy.
If Godzilla finds out he's here, he's going to kill him.
Millie Bobby Brown's over here. She fucking went to Hong Kong.
Yeah, in an underground pod.
Yeah. And then the dad just able to get there at the end, too. I have a lot of issues with the parenting in this movie. Because between him, Kyle Chandler, and Rebecca Hall, they were terrible parents.
Also,
like,
where did that little Australian kid come from?
He's New Zealand, and he's from fucking Deadpool 2. And I told you when we did Deadpool 2, I hate that kid.
They're gonna make a thing out of him.
He's like a male version of Rebel Wilson.
Yes, 100%.
And he's so annoying. He was not funny. That whole subplot with Millie Bobby Brown, that guy, and Brian Tyree Henry, who's completely unhinged in this movie.
Oh, he's on another level.
Yeah, he's wild. But I kind of appreciate it because I was like, they're probably meant for a white dude to do this role, but they, something worked out where he got it. So yeah. I was like, good for him, just getting these roles,
a different kind of role, because it is something outside of his wheelhouse.
Exactly.
What we've typically seen out of him.
Yeah, it was really weird, but. That whole subplot. Did you ever see the first Transformer?
Yes.
Remember when Anthony Anderson was with those random white people who were like scientists or whatever? Mm-hmm. And there's like this whole subplot about them like being asked about the technology and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. It reminded me of all of that. I'm like, what does this add to the story? They're using them to do exposition about how Mechagodzilla gets here. But in theory, you don't really need that. You could just fucking say Mechagodzilla came out that portal thing that Godzilla shot down to the core.
True. See, listen, this is my thing. I don't even know if I have a thing. I just feel like there is there was a lot of stuff in this movie. I'm just like, okay, this is unnecessary. This is unnecessary. Yeah. It's like, when are they gonna fight? And that's what you're waiting for the entire time.
The first fight's not until like 30 minutes in.
Yeah.
And even then, it was like, I was like, oh, Kong could fuck Godzilla up because Godzilla just got the jump on him.
Whoa.
Because he was chained up, and it's like, nigga, you want to be able to chain this monkey on this? First of all, how do these boats hold up Kong?
That's true.
He's supposed to be bigger than like mountains and shit.
I mean, they are like they are like fucking like huge ass, like fucking plane carriers.
But Godzilla can knock them over, right? He can flip these ships over, but Kong just moves to one side.
I mean, a big enough whale could probably knock those things over as well. Because if you're bumping a ship from underneath, if you're big enough, you'll be able to topple it because they're trying to straddle the water.
Man, imagine an angry. We talked about whales. We talked about the ocean. Man.
Now hold on. Let me first take a walk back. Yes, there's likely not a whale big enough to knock over the air carrier.
I mean, if it's like Monstro from fucking Pinocchio, like those big ass sperm whales. Those are the things that terrify me. I mean,
and it's gonna get you pregnant too.
I just remember reading In the Heart of the Sea. The movie's terrible, but it was about they used to kill whales to take their oil to make candles, and like that's how essentially we had light, right? Mm-hmm. I was like, these niggas were on these raggedy ass boats, essentially just surfing with whales, like spearing them, and then it was like so terrifying because a whale would be angry and gonna bash your boat in.
It's just like, oh, let's go.
Yeah, like what do you?
Well, it's also like, all right, so you kill a whale, right? Mm-hmm. How do you get that thing to shore? Or do you just cut it open right there in the middle of the sea?
I think they were slicing it open at sea and then like breaking bits up. That's why they got into the little boats because they would have to take time like chopping it up and stuff.
Yeah,
and getting the blubber.
Yeah. So here's the other thing so as you're cutting up a whale, you know what else you're attracting? Sharks. Yep. And that is terrifying.
Well, that's what happens in the Heart of the Sea. Yeah, they get fucked up, and then sharks come, and then they end up deserted on an island and they start eating each other. It's fucking wild.
Lovely. Yeah. That's my favorite kind of story. White people devouring each other.
Oh, there were some black people in there too.
Yeah, damn it. They were slaves. Likely.
Yeah, they were.
So, I mean, come on.
Yeah. So Godzilla versus Kong. All right, so this is the iteration of Godzilla from Godzilla and Godzilla King of Monsters, which is a terrible, terrible movie. And then Kong Skull Island, because clearly Peter Jackson's Kong, he dies in New York City, which I did write down when there's good graphics used with King Kong, because obviously it's way advanced in the stop motion shit from the 1930s.
Yeah, nigga in a suit.
But
you can see his fucking eyes.
Kong scenes when he's fighting animal monsters or like Godzilla is pretty fucking dope.
Yeah, but this is the thing. They did this little fucking like weird like bracket system, like his fucking the NCAA tournament of Kong killing like ridiculously large creatures, and then Godzilla killing ridiculously large creatures. I'm like, what the fuck is going on right now? That was crazy and wonky. And it's like, and now versus, oh yeah, you know that their ancestors once fought each other.
Yeah, so well, they hinted at that in Skull Island at the end, the post-credit scene.
Yeah.
They hinted at that, but I was just like, you know what would have been great in this movie? Samuel Jackson refereeing this shit.
I'm going to kill whoever wins.
But it was just really weird because, you know, we meet Kong in this compound, a la WandaVision. And there's this deaf Asian girl, with her her white adopted mother played by Rebecca Hall, who I believe was in Godzilla. No, she was. Yeah, was she a character in one of these movies?
She had to be in Kong.
This is a fucking monsterverse. No, but Kong takes place in like the 50s or something like that.
No, Skull Island. She wasn't in Skull Island.
No, because Skull Island is like a.
Oh, that was a blonde that was in that one.
It takes place in 1944. Oh, no, 1973. Sorry. Yeah, because remember, it's like they're playing like a lot of like the 70s like revolution music and stuff.
Oh, that's right. Brie Larson was in that one.
Yeah. So it's like, so she's a new character that we're just meeting, I guess. And then the little deaf girl, she communicates with Kong, who like is like her protector or whatever, which is fine that they made it an Asian girl versus another white girl because that's going to play into that racial, issues that people have with Kong or whatever. But then Kong is doing ASL, American Sign Language, and I'm like, oh, so we got a Congo situation going on here?
Well, also, a part of it is just like...
How would he be able to see her doing the signs? He's so big.
Well, I mean, he's leaning in. They sitting there touching.
Does
the
he have
tip
a
of their
magnifying
fingers and shit.
glass? A la Honey, I Shrunk the Kids?
But, Brandon, Kong, you telling me that nobody in all of their research figured out that this giant fucking monkey could communicate with this little girl. Yes. Y'all just figuring this shit out now.
Yeah, they never saw it on camera or nothing. Like they weren't monitoring this nigga 24/7.
Exactly. They had him in a goddamn dome for however many years, and no one knew that he was doing sign language in this bitch.
I mean, that's crazy. But also the idea of having him in a dome. I mean, it's like, nigga, all you gotta do is see Jurassic World and know this ain't gonna work out.
Well, I mean, dude, it picks up with Kong ripping a tree out of the ground, fashioning it into a spear, and throwing it at the mock sun that they had. Yeah. Like, it's like, yo, he knew immediately. He was just like, oh, these niggas with this bullshit. Ha! I'm gonna throw another one tomorrow. Ha!
I mean, I gotta say though, I did like what they did with Kong here, because Kong was like real. Like when Tati and I were watching it, we were empathizing with Kong, like his journey in this movie, and then when he's fighting Godzilla at the end. But then like Mechagodzilla comes out, and the little deaf girl's like, he's regular Godzilla's not the bad one, and Kong like does like a side eye, like,
yeah, he's just like, bitch, that nigga just stomped my fucking ass.
He stomped my chest. He stopped my chest trying to get me to submit, and I said no, and he walked away. He's like, well, fuck you then, nigga.
He said he knows niggas that will poke me in the booty hole. Like, what are you talking about? She's like, no, look at the metal nigga. He's the nigga that will fuck you up.
Yeah, I did write down, was the direction for all the actors to be very campy?
Yeah,
because there's some really over the top acting in this. Alexander Skarsgård, I don't know what the fuck he was on through this movie. He must have been on all the cocaine, because he was saying some crazy shit and he was acting weird. I don't know where he can fly that jet thing. I was like, okay,
we need.
All right, Cuba Gooding Jr. from fucking Outbreak.
We need to figure out what's going on with these fucking jets.
Well, okay.
that was kind of cuckoo bananas.
Well, that was from the company, right? That was from the one that's actually behind all of this. Right?
Yeah. When the pretty bitch shows up.
Oh, I mean, Elon Gonzalez.
Yeah, she shows up.
That was ridiculous, because I'm like, all right, not saying that beautiful people can't be in this shit and like in these roles in real life, but she's like model-esque. Yeah. Right? She's so beautiful. The fact that no one was like, holy shit. I was like, this is already unrealistic.
Guys, who's the supermodel that just showed up and is talking, popping all this bullshit? Yeah. I'm just like, yo, first of all, if I'm one of these eggheads, I'm one of these egghead smart motherfuckers, and this girl shows up and she's popping all this bullshit, I don't care who the fuck she is. I'm really like, first of all, shut your fucking ass up. You don't know what you're talking about. Just straight off, just the fact, I'd be that asshole, just what she looks like. And I'd say that to a guy, some handsome little fuck, like, who's the nigga, Aquaman?
Jason Momoa?
Yeah, Jason Momoa. Aquaman. Jason Momoa shows up and he starts talking about fucking science. I'm like, listen here, you're not Dolph Lundgren, because that nigga's a real rocket scientist. Get your ass out of here.
Yeah.
Just saying. I'm pretty sure these egghead folks, this is exactly what they do. I don't know why I keep on calling them eggheads.
I don't know either. That's interesting. But yeah, when she shows up with these jets, and then they're talking about they have to get to, why did they have to go to this portal to get to the core of the world where Kong's ancestors apparently lived? And he has a fucking,
because that was going to power the fucking Metal Kong, whatever the fuck they call this shit, the Zilla.
Well, for Apex.
Yeah.
But Alexander Skarsgård wasn't hired by Apex though.
He was a part of that shit.
Okay.
He was a part.
I was confused.
Or inadvertently a part of it, or maybe he didn't know fully what he was doing, but he was a part of it. Yeah,
I just hated the fact that I actually had to have seen the other movies in order to get what's going on.
Yeah.
Like for Kyle Chandler to be in this for like maybe 5 minutes, I was like, we have to know his character arc from the Godzilla movie in order like for this to somewhat make sense with Millie Bobby Brown. But I was like, one, she's really annoying in this movie, which is surprising because I loved her ever since Stranger Things. Yeah. But she was really, really annoying. And then we talked about New Zealand kid. But I'm like, also, Kyle Chandler, your daughter just went across the world. And you haven't even, she calls you to check in. Nigga, what are you doing?
I mean, listen.
ACS is going to take that kid away. If the Lord don't do it because everyone in Hong Kong is dead.
Oh yeah.
We talk about the Zod and Superman fight. I mean, this was like,
this is
the city's gone.
Epic proportions.
Yeah.
You know, at the point where, well, apparently Godzilla has had fights in the middle of the city anyhow, on quite a number of occasions. They're why rebuilt? Yep. You know those niggas gonna show back up.
Well, that's the thing too. Is like Godzilla was provoked because they were awakening Gamora or Ghidorah from Gods of Monsters, King of Monsters, right? Mm-hmm. Using that head, one of the three heads, to then take over this Mecha Godzilla thing. Yeah. And you know that Asian dude's supposed to be the son of Ken Watanabe's character from like the previous Godzilla movies. Yeah. Which is really weird and confusing.
Well, also, did they really need him to say Godzilla? Did we really,
somebody to do it.
Did we really need that? We didn't. We don't really need the Godzilla. We did not need that. Just saying. you know, one of like somebody then find the nose like, hey man, does this have to happen? Yeah. Just saying.
Just a thought. Adam Wingard, who directed this.
Hold on. Why was what's my man's name?
Damian Bashir, who looked like a Spanish Dracula. That's an example of the over the topness. Like he was so batshit crazy in that moment where Mecha Godzilla's coming. He's like, we're going to revolutionize. I'm going to protect everybody.
Yeah, and then, it's like, humankind, we're going to be the strongest again. And I was just kind of like, oh boy.
And then Mecha Godzilla like goes rogue because if it overrides the system and fries that the son of Ken Watanabe's character's brain, which that was kind of cool. I was like, well, what did you think was going to happen, bro? You're like wired in like Dr. Ock in his arms and shit.
Now, all right. It's almost, I would have thought it would have been better if he was riding inside of it like a Power Ranger, like a Megazord.
Yeah.
That could have actually been cool because actually that would have almost brought kind of like what's the movie that we reached? Oh my God, I'm just losing everything. The one with the fucking dude from I can't think of anything today, Brandon. The nigga from Star Wars.
Oh, Pacific Rim 2?
Yeah, you got that kind of Gundam type of deal.
Well, they've been like talking about how they would love to bring that into this monster universe. Yeah. And I was like, they have an end to do that because of the way that Godzilla uses his, fire breath or whatever to shoot that core into the core. Yeah. Because in Pacific Rim, the first one, they say that's how those kaiju or whatever come out of the into the world. Yeah. Right. So I'm like, oh, okay. So that's an in on how they can introduce this shit, which would be interesting. I would be down to see that, like them Godzilla, King Kong fighting with the human robot things against these bigger monsters. Yeah. That'd be dope. But there's a lot of potential to do this story in a way that's less confusing. As much exposition as they constantly gave us, it didn't clarify anything. I was like, you guys are just writing yourself in circles.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the whole thing with the anti-Earth thing or whatever, and they have to go to Antarctica and shit. And I was just like, what is going on here? Like, what? First of all, all those helicopters carrying Kong and that net. I was like, that nigga was gonna roll off.
True.
There's no way they all could stay balanced like that for God knows how long they would travel.
This is our military, Brandon.
They're not anything. Robots. They're all still humans.
They can do anything. But the only reason I got that is like, okay, so I'm guessing that's somehow how Godzilla got out of there, or King Kong. That's where they came from. So there was a hole in there, which these monsters have been coming out. Has been coming out.
Hollow Earth.
Yeah. So
that's how Godzilla knew exactly where to shoot his breath to get into the core, so he could look down and be like, "What's up, nigga?" And King Kong's like, you again?
Okay, so all right, so that's the thing.
That was so crazy.
So King Kong is kind of sitting there chilling out, and Godzilla's, that nigga. He says, "What? 3, 2, ha!" And he starts shooting his thing down there. It comes through the ground.
Yes.
And then almost hit, and then just misses him, and then fucking King Kong's just like, "Oh, I got you now," and then jumps through the hole. Okay, if Godzilla can create a hole in the earth that fucking big, wouldn't seemingly you think that Godzilla's much larger than King Kong?
Yes, and stronger.
Yes,
but remember, King Kong now is an axe. From his ancestors.
This is true.
That glows with some weird. No.
When Godzilla's thing, he powers it.
It's radiation. It's radiation. I wrote down. I was like, isn't this bad for every single human that is out of the ship now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because you were essentially saying this whole thing is radiation. You're all gonna have cancer now.
Well,
I mean, Alexander Skarsgård, he's got those cancer bags under his eyes. I wrote down he has Brandon bags.
Jesus Christ.
I was like, he looks mad tired.
Oh, also, when they were in Antarctica, why was nobody dressed for Antarctica?
Yes.
Nobody.
Yes.
Not even that little baby. That baby's out there. She ain't dressed for Antarctica.
King Kong just shivers a little bit. I'm like, nigga, you grew up in a tropical island.
He was just like, and he's just going about it. But also, Brandon, I will give King Kong a pass. You want to know why? Because he's a monkey. He's a monkey, and he's got all that fur covering his body, which gives him warmth. And their skin is tougher.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they can withstand, these, adverse kinds of weather changes and things like that. I'm cool with that. But you had a 7-year-old. You had a 7-year-old in Antarctica walking around with a goddamn Snuggie on. That's not enough. Nobody had enough.
Well, okay. The little girl...
And hold on. She also comes from Kong's Island, Skull Island. So of anybody, she should be feeling this weather.
Mm-hmm. But also, again, Rebecca Hall's character is a terrible mom because this little girl's touching fingertips with King Kong, who all it takes is a little extra pressure and that finger's gone.
Oh yeah,
right.
Well, no, he could squash her.
That too. And he's murdered humans before.
Oh yes, he has.
He
has a history.
But the thing is, when they go to the Hollow Earth or whatever, before they blast into it, Alexander Skarsgård buckles his seatbelt and like he was he have like a drink or something like that? He's like, because we're gonna throw up.
Yeah.
So he didn't give anyone a pre-warning, and then he's like, we're gonna go like at 1,000 miles per hour. And I'm like, you have a 70-year-old in here. Like, what are you all doing? You're just going to have brain damage. And the little girl's just looking at Kong smiling. Or when Kong is dead, she's like sad. And I was like, they didn't do this. They didn't do this role justice. Like, this is terrible.
Can we also talk about the fact that Brian Tyree Henry is washing himself in bleach? Yeah. This nigga was plumb crazy.
That's what I said. It was so batshit crazy, but once I settled into it, because he opens the movie with his podcast, which I wrote down as a professional podcaster, he would not be getting that crisp audio in that little wire headset. No way at all.
Never.
But then I was like, he's frantically talking into his computer because he works at the Apex lab, where then Godzilla attacks at the beginning. And I was just like, oh, this is weird. But then, like, eventually you're like, oh, his character's supposed to be on the spectrum or something like that. Yeah. And he has the flask because he meets
his
up with...
wife gave it to him, whatever.
Because Millie Bobby Brown, that New Zealand kid, they meet up with him. And he's like, oh, my wife gave this to me. She got sick. And if I ever finish the flask, that means that's how you know I gave up. And I was like, there's no way that this flask is going to come into play for some reason in this big monster fight. Yep. So they're saying that essentially Mechagodzilla has the same vulnerability as the fucking itchy and scratchy robots from that episode of The Simpsons. Like it just takes a little rickety-do with their tech.
Just destroy the computer. That's all you need to do. just pull. All he had to do was pull the plug. They didn't have to do that. Just pull the plug.
Yeah.
That'd have been it.
Because it literally, as soon as they pour that alcohol, I did like the scene with the New Zealand kid. He's trying to do the usual, like in these action movies, the kid's hacking.
Yeah.
And then Brian Tyree was like, "What are you doing? Use a SQL or whatever." It's like a coding language. And the kid's like, "They only taught us a little bit of Java or some shit." He's like, he doesn't know what he's doing.
Like HTML.
Yeah, HTML. And I was like, oh, that's funny. But it's because like I work in the coding boot camp and stuff for a while.
Yeah, but also it's like, yeah, they wouldn't know.
Yeah. It's also during Hong Kong.
Well, yeah, that too. That's a completely different language.
I was so confused. Was Brian Tyree Henry in Hong Kong from the beginning?
No.
Okay, because they all went in that pod together, right, to get to Hong Kong.
Yes.
But how come the place where they were at when they first met up, looked a lot like Hong Kong?
I don't know, Brandon. A lot of this
It looked like this Asian exotic place. It didn't look like somewhere in California or some shit.
And also, it's just like, how did these two kids just travel there?
Well, because the New Zealand kid stole his brother's van or some shit, and then Millie Bobby Brown starts driving. I'm like, how the fuck old is she now? Because she looks like a 4-year-old.
Yeah. I mean, there's some holes.
I mean, she's 17, but it was wild. I was very upset at all the human stuff. The monster fights, that's what I was like, all right, this is cool.
Oh,
even though that boat fight scene was insane.
Yeah.
The amount of destruction that Godzilla does, and the fact that they wouldn't just immediately unchain King Kong.
Oh, yeah. He's just like, we won't be able to control him. It's just like, nigga, like, what do you think's going to happen when Godzilla shows up?
Yeah.
Y'all got nothing that can stop that motherfucker, and you don't want to let the only thing that can fight him go? Let go. It's like, oh, we're going to need him so we can get in. It's like, you're in the middle of the ocean. There's literally nothing that you can do at this point.
Yep. He's already blown up a build. I mean, by the way, the proximity that the boats are all next to each other, once Godzilla blows up that one boat, all of them should be blowing up the same way. There was like no continuity in that. Also, the fact that Millie Bobby Brown's like, something's provoking Godzilla. He's not doing this on his own. I was like, how do you know that? He's an animal that's been covered in radiation and shit.
Well, also the fact is...
Or is that the Matthew Broderick version of Godzilla?
I don't know. I don't remember.
I don't remember the origin story of this Godzilla.
What killed me is going back to the boats. Mm-hmm. So they basically trick Godzilla to think they turn off all their power or whatever, and they just basically go silent. And King Kong is like knocked out on the boat because he just took an ass whooping. And he's laid down on the boat.
He takes a lot of ass whoops.
And then like Godzilla is like looking, and he has his look on his face. He's just like, yeah, I got that nigga. And then he just swims away. I'm like, what is happening right now?
Well, they said that he was attracted because they're titans and they have to, they're going to keep fighting until one of them submits.
Yeah.
Or whatever. So that made sense. But then I didn't understand though. So the reason why Godzilla attacked that factory was because that's where Mechagodzilla was at.
No,
right?
No, it's not. No, because the part of Mechagodzilla was there.
Okay.
So I think the thing that was the eye.
Got it.
Like, or there was some part of Mechagodzilla that was there because that's what Brian Tyree Henry's character saw, and then when he tried to come back and show them, it was gone.
Got it.
And then they went, into the fucking like fucking loop that took them to fucking Tokyo.
That was so insane. Did Kyle Chandler take the same thing? Because the aftermath, he's on the street looking for his daughter. I'm like, how? You just talked to her 4 hours ago.
How long did that take him to get to Tokyo? That's a good question.
You know how long that's from anywhere in the West world? That's going to take at minimum 10 hours.
No, but in that Hyperloop tunnel thing that they were in, like, I wonder how long it took them in that.
Probably 30 minutes.
That's crazy.
Which is terrifying.
But they were also like
they
were also like laying down, just chilling out and whatnot. Like that's fucking cuckoo. Mm-hmm. Also, when they jumped in those little like ships, aircraft, and they went down to like
Hollow Earth.
Yeah.
They called them the Heaves or whatever.
Yeah. Here's my question, man. Mm-hmm. Nobody's ever driven these things before, right?
Nope. It was like Independence Day.
And they were just straight up like, they were experts. Not one person immediately crashed that fucking thing.
Well, that's also like why like Alexander Skarsgård being able to just pick it up and like get them out of there. I'm like, how?
Yeah.
How? Also, when they just randomly like had Kong kill a hot girl with the from Apex and stuff and her crew, I was like, why did they even have this character in here then? Just so she could betray them, but she was always the bad guy.
Yeah.
She never looked like friendly.
And also it was actually ridiculous. They were just like, oh, did they shoot Kong? They
were shooting at Kong.
Yeah.
That's why he killed him.
Yeah, so it's like, oh, shoot him. Like, we need to get through. It's just like, yo, why the fuck would you do that?
Yeah.
Like, that made no sense.
Nope.
That was the dumbest fucking move. And also, when Kong's coming through the hole that Godzilla just created, why didn't Godzilla just shoot right down the hole and just murder him right there?
I was thinking that too. Like,
it's like, why did he stop?
It's the element of surprise. Like, shoot him again. He's dead.
Yeah, like he's already halfway through the hole. It probably took him at least fucking like 5 to 10 minutes to get through that bitch. I mean, it should have taken him fucking days. Yeah. I mean, because he's going through the earth. But
it was wild though. Like, because when they finally get to the big fight at the end, King Kong is fucking Godzilla up. Then Godzilla gets the upper hand. But then when Mecha Godzilla comes and Kong's just knocked the fuck out like it's a wrestling match. Mm-hmm. Mecha Godzilla was taking Godzilla's head and bashing him through multiple buildings.
Yes.
I was like, God damn. Godzilla's probably like, what in the fuck?
hey, I was supposed to be winning. Hey.
He's like, who the fuck are you, nigga? Mecha Godzilla just pops out of nowhere under the shadows and is like,
I used to fuck guys like you.
it's like, whoa.
Well,
this is after King Kong brought out his axe and shit.
Yeah.
That was fucking shit up.
Well, I guess that axe was really the thing. But also,
I mean, that was going to be the toy that they were going to sell.
For sure. But also, Godzilla, like, when they're on the ship, Godzilla knocks King Kong down, puts him on his ass with a punch. But he got those baby T-Rex arms. Mm-hmm. He's not going to be able to get that torque out of there to put down fucking King Kong. King Kong is
thicker than T-Rex arms, though.
Yeah, but nigga, they're short as fuck.
They're short, but
how does fucking King Kong not dodge that shit? How does he catch that right to the fucking face? You know what I'm saying? It's just like, yo, monkeys are crazy agile. They're crazy agile and they're strong as fuck. No. This thing has got the fucking these big old monkey soup bones. And he's just wrapping it across Godzilla's fucking lip time after time again. But Godzilla just gives him a CeeLo Green slap in the face, and then King Kong's going down to that shit. Like, what's going on? That whole thing, I don't know. I thought the fight was just kind of that first fight.
You don't like the action scenes?
No. I did, but there was just the physics of it. I was just like, okay.
I mean, you have to make a balance, like a decision. Like, you can't talk about the physics. It's already so fucking crazy.
Of course, no. See, but I also look at it as like, all right, where Godzilla's got Kong is, he's got fucking radiation breath. Mm-hmm. He has a fucking tail that he could bop him over his fucking face with, and he's a fucking dinosaur. So he can literally gnaw bite through his fucking flesh.
Yeah, he's also heavier than like the T-Rexes that like he had to encounter in Skull Island.
Yeah.
By the way, that Peter Jackson King Kong T-Rex fight was still pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
But I loved how he was like trying to do the same thing that Peter Jackson did with Kong, where he was trying to like open up rip open his face like that, and then Godzilla's like, no. Like, I was like,
it don't work that way.
Yeah, but I mean, everyone's dead in Hong Kong. I mean, it was insane that there was people still on the street.
Oh yeah, Godzilla is the second atomic bomb. He just Hiroshima fucking that place. That is it. Ain't nobody surviving that one except all the white people that showed up.
Yes. Yep.
They are just fine. Things are gonna work out fine.
Yeah, it was a bunch of Asian and brown people that died.
Yeah. Who would have thought?
It was crazy though when Brian Tyree Henry's drinking his flask at the end because he, rightfully so, he thinks he's gonna die, and he was like, "I was hoping to die with adults." What? You're hoping to die with multiple people? What kind of plans did you have?
Yeah. I mean, hey, everybody's got a dream, man.
And I wrote down side eye with, so that's how the flask comes into play. I was so mad at that.
Well, I mean, I also had the question. It was just like, so in I keep on calling it Middle Earth. In the upside down, because literally the sky was upside down. So it's just like, so the oxygen's just fine here, and the reverse gravity is just totally good for humans. That's fine.
Like, they're just going out on the ship. Okay, cool.
Yeah, no nothing. Y'all good?
Also, Alexander Skarsgård would have died reviving Kong with that ship.
Oh yeah,
that ship blew up a bomb inside of it to revive him. Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah.
Anything within like a 5-block radius of that explosion is probably dead.
Yeah.
Again, he has all the cancer.
Yes.
Like he's going to have several tumors on his testicles.
Why on his testicles? I mean, because he was running, so maybe be on his back, maybe on his buttocks.
Or his testicles. It's rare. Check yourself, guys, every day.
Yeah, testicular cancer is a thing, fellas. This has been
Check your balls, guys.
The more you know.
It's true, though. Really gotta check your balls, man.
Brandon, I don't like how serious you're getting about this balls thing.
I remember seeing a Tom Green special where he got he had testicular cancer, and it really stuck with me, man. Because he was like, I like delayed it so long, like based on what was happening. They had to like go into his like lymph nodes and shit. And he showed his own intense surgery and shit. I was like, and then you had to put like a tube in your dick because you can't pee naturally. I was like, no.
Guys, Brandon's hand is slowly going to his dick right now. You look like you're about to grab your dick. Like, oh man, it's hurt me just talking about it. All right, so Kong then teams up with Godzilla, and they take on fucking Mecha Godzilla.
Yeah, but Mecha Godzilla's fucking them both up.
Yeah, until
like not even like really even. I mean, it's obviously a robot, but it doesn't even look like it's really being like, whew, damn, this is a lot.
Oh, this is a fight.
Yeah, it's just like, it's like. Like, imagine if they were Power Rangers fighting this nigga, they would have been like, we're Zordon, we're going down.
Gordon. I just said Gordon.
Oh my God, Gordon Bigger Bone in charge of Power Rangers would be the craziest thing in the world.
Oh, it would be like, oh, y'all niggas ain't gonna do it because you're not from Newark.
He would recruit niggas from Newark as Power Rangers.
Oh, no.
They would just be out here using their powers
to steal cars. To steal cars and go on joyrides.
Be like, it's like, get out of your car, pterodactyl. Just morph it into a suit so you can carjack somebody.
You see all the fucking Power Rangers hanging out of a car out of the windows.
Drinking OE out of paper bags.
Being chased by police. And then when police corner them, they call the Megazord.
But yeah, Mechagodzilla is fucking them up.
Yeah, until Godzilla lights up fucking King Kong's little fucking axe, and then he's able to fucking start chop sueying this motherfucker. But that's only after they pour a little something out for the homies on the machinery back at the lab, which then Mechagodzilla is just like, oh no, I can't work.
Which again pauses what you said before. All they had to do was just like bash that shit up.
Pull the plug. That's it. They take him down. Pull the plug.
He literally starts short circuiting, and then they just go to town on him.
Yeah.
They like beat him like a pinata.
No, fucking King Kong just starts fucking slicing and dicing this motherfucker like a sushi chef.
Yeah.
like playing 0 fucking games. He was an artist with the blade.
Well, that's why I was like, I'm surprised that they didn't go back to fighting just because he's like, oh, now I can kill this nigga. I can definitely kill you. Because Godzilla was scratching up his chest and shit. He already had the scars.
Yeah.
And then he was scratching them up more and shit. And you're like, damn, Godzilla's getting in work right now.
Yeah. And then so after he kills him, fucking King Kong like lies down, and then all of a sudden Godzilla.
He didn't
comes,
lie down. He sat
collapsed.
down in exhaustion.
Yeah, he
And
collapsed.
that's why I was like, yo, I feel you, Kong. I
Yeah.
would be like, I'm too old for this shit.
Yes, it was very Danny Glover-esque.
Yeah.
Very Danny Glover-esque. And then fucking all of a sudden through the smoke, you see fucking Godzilla show back up. And he gets up. He's just like, nigga, I ain't got time for this shit. And then fucking Godzilla's just like, you got the juice now. And just goes in the water and just leaves. After showing him respect.
Yeah.
Like, what is happening right now?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what they do after this. They shouldn't-
Stop making movies. That's what they do.
Yeah, I don't think
stop.
they should continue this MonsterVerse unless they're going to bring in Pacific Rim into it.
Yeah.
That's the only way that it'll like make it worth me even remotely considering returning to this world that they created. Because the human characters are garbage. But if you brought back Charlie Hunnam from Pacific Rim and stuff, I'd be like, all right, I'll check it out and see how he like works with this and stuff like that. But yeah, I was just like not into it.
But at the same time, I mean, it was a fun watch.
It was too long.
It's
Almost 2 hours, and I was bored. Whenever Kong and Godzilla weren't fighting or doing something, I was bored. Well, I mean, this is Kong's movie.
Yeah.
Godzilla is essentially like the villain until the last 20 minutes.
Yeah, until and then it's a turn, and he's like, now he's an ally.
Because we spent all of our time mostly with Kong and like him like discovering his roots and all this stuff, and like to get his rightful place, I guess, in the throne room with the axe. It was a very Lion King moment.
You know, it's funny because I've been seeing a lot of niggas post about this movie. It's like, oh, yo, Kong went in there and did that work and yada yada. I'm just like, no, he didn't. He got that ass whooped this entire fucking movie.
He was okay. Here's the thing. I don't count the first fight, the water fight, with either of them because Godzilla essentially had the element of surprise. Remember, Kong was like knocked out on tranquilizers and shit probably.
Yeah, true.
So he was like half alert. And then he was chained up, so like he didn't even have like the opportunity.
No, they unleashed those chains.
Yeah, but then like the fight, they fought underwater a little
But
bit.
you know, he didn't get a chance to stretch.
Exactly.
And yeah, that does play a difference. If you don't get a chance to stretch, the second fight he was able to stretch it out down there. He's swinging around, he's running and shit. Yeah, so he got a good pump going on.
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah, I mean he was getting into work with Godzilla until Godzilla just used that big ass tail.
Yeah, until Godzilla
gave him a concussion, a monkey concussion.
Will Smith showed up.
By the way,
in an African accent.
Not only does Alexander Skarsgård have cancer because of all the radiation exposure, when that explosion blows him, down the street, he would have the ultimate concussion.
Oh, he'd be all fucked up. Brandon, I broke my I separated my shoulder falling off a bike, which is, closer to the ground than, lower to the ground than I stand tall.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This man was hurtled from the top of fucking King Kong's chest by an explosion, which threw him maybe hundreds of yards. No problem. He's good. It's not like he fell into a fucking basket of roses, which would have probably been terrible because they have thorns. But this nigga, he got up like nothing. I want his body parts.
Isn't that ironic how roses have thorns in them? Mm-hmm. Such a beautiful flower.
They smell delicious.
So pricky at the end.
Yep.
Secret lovers. Once again.
I would have probably said, every rose has its thorn.
That's more appropriate.
Yeah. Why Secret Lovers? Yeah. Even though probably one of the most ridiculous things ever said on this podcast. Secret lovers That's what we are. Try so hard to hide the way we feel. Medium popcorn. Niggas spoiling movies on the podcast.
You know,
It's
to that,
so real.
folks, I want y'all to call 347-508-0978. Leave us your fan version of our theme song. I want to take a quick moment to shout out our fans that for the Earth, Wind, and Fire
Yes.
Isley Brothers versus. People were tweeting at us about like, this isn't Easy Lover to me anymore. It's the Medium Popcorn theme song. And then I was watching it live, Justin, in the chat, and people were saying Medium Popcorn. The chat was going fast, but I saw at least 4 of them. And I was just like, yeah, niggas.
Yeah.
So call in.
I saw the tags. We appreciate that, y'all.
Yeah, call in and give us your original take on our theme song. Hopefully you are black, so it's not offensive to us.
No, you could say medium popcorn ninjas. You could call us ninjas for the song if you're a white person. It's okay.
Yeah,
we'll give you ninjas.
Mm-hmm. So
Even
call
though
in.
we know what it means.
Call in. We might have a little giveaway for the best one. Because we got some raffles coming up.
Yeah,
so,
we got some shit going on, and I have this thing I've been trying to give away to niggas for a long time. Nobody's taking any up on it.
Well, because we haven't talked about it.
Well, I mean, hey.
How people want to take you up on it if they don't know about it?
Hey, no, we've offered things before, and people just haven't jumped on it, man.
This is true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, yay. I don't know what's going on, but there's people dying all over the place. Yeah.
Technically, this is Kyle Chandler's second Godzilla King Kong movie. Because he was in the Peter Jackson version.
Oh, well, I mean, it should be his last.
I mean, everyone who was in this movie was like, this is clearly just a paycheck.
Oh, well, I mean, listen.
I don't think anyone signed up and was like, oh man, I can't wait to be in this movie.
Again, niggas gotta eat. And I respect the fact that people trying to eat. And, with something like, oh, you're acting along the side of a fucking big-ass monster monkey or big-eyed monster dinosaur, it's like, hey, man, it's whatever. People are watching for that. They ain't watching for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So let's rate this thing, man.
Yeah, break down our rating system.
All right, so you know how we do it, guys. We rate movies bags of popcorn, small, medium, large, and the XL for the exceptional. If a film doesn't deserve any popcorn, we throw it to the dog shit pile. We pile piles and piles of dog shit on top of it. So, Brandon, we watch Godzilla vs. Kong. King Kong, that is. Starring Alexander Skarsgård. No, Skarsgård.
Alexander Skateboard.
Yeah, I know. Millie Bobby Brown, Rebecca Hall, Brian Tyree Henry. What say you, sir?
I forgot Rebecca Hall is in this, even though I talked about her character several times. There's just so many forgettable people in this.
Yeah.
So this gets us small.
Okay.
And the only thing that saves it are the fight scenes. Because the CGI is actually really, really good.
Yeah.
I was surprised because we talked about like Wonder Woman, 1984, some of the Zack Snyder stuff. Like CGI has been a little hit and miss, especially with these 4K TVs. But this is the first time I was like, okay, this is dope. But also it was like, I think I might have rated it higher if I was able to see it in the theater. Because those fight scenes were clearly for theatrical viewing, right? Like imagine seeing that fight scene in Hong Kong on IMAX.
True.
That'd be fucking dope. But yeah, the human characters, I mean, there's too many of them. Like, this should have been a tight hour and a half of just monsters fighting. Just give me that.
Yeah.
That's why King of Monsters sucked. Because there's so much human dialogue and stuff. And we didn't get a cool fight until the very end when Godzilla fights the three-head dragon or whatever.
Yeah, the Hydra.
Yeah, but that was it. What about you?
I'm going to give it a medium, man. All right. I mean, it's definitely something you're watching for the end.
Yeah.
But like you said, like the storyline was meh. But like the CGI was really dope. Even though there were some times where like you got pops of reds and things like that within the film, which was kind of weird. I think also this is something if you have a really good like 4K TV, you're gonna get the best out of it, obviously.
Yes.
So I think if you haven't watched this movie, or you're like, you know what, maybe I want to watch it again, be sure to actually tweak your settings on your TV to make sure you're using the right settings for watching a film so you get the best look at it. But yeah, I thought it was actually fun, and regardless, and it was campy. It was pretty campy.
It was, but like not in like a. It reminded me of Transformers, like I said. Like it was like campy in that way, but there wasn't a Shia LaBeouf character that like was
grounded
and like but charming. You know what I mean? So there's nothing like that to grab onto. So it was just everyone was just crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I mean? Like,
but like because of that, because it was just kind of all over the place. It actually was just kind of fun to watch because like. 9 out of 10 of the movies that we watch, Paula falls asleep in them. But she actually sat there and she watched this thing with me, and like in a way, you're invested for Kong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean
he's really the star of this movie,
yes.
And obviously he don't say nothing but some little deaf girl using sign language. So it's like it was cool to see like an animatronic fucking, well, not animatronic, but a CGI, fucking how many feet tall gorilla actually hold the fucking movie this entire time. It was, I thought it was pretty decent for what I didn't expect much from this. Yeah. So I guess with low expectations, if you're going with low expectations, you'll have some fun.
I guess that's fair. My whole thing was based on the Godzilla proportions from the first two movies and Kong and Skull Island. I feel like Godzilla should have been towering over King Kong.
Oh, I 100% agree. 100% agree.
So I'm like really confused as to how they were the same height.
Yeah,
for their fight scenes.
Mm-hmm. Well, even so, when Godzilla got onto the boat. I mean,
that's crazy.
Yeah. First of all, they would both not be able to fit on that boat.
That's why I wrote down. I was like, what is going on with these boats?
But when Godzilla jumped on, like everything, when he was in the water, everything pointed to Godzilla is the monster right now, and Kong is like maybe at least like only 75% of his fucking size.
Yeah,
like he still had like another 25 on him. But like they square up and they're the same height. It's like, it doesn't make any sense. Like this isn't The Rock and Vin Diesel.
Yep. Which, yeah. Again, that was such a crazy fight that they were like, it's a draw. I'm like, no, it's not.
Which one? The Rock and Vin Diesel?
Yeah. Fast 5 when Rock and Vin Diesel fight. Technically, they try to say Vin Diesel won.
Yeah.
Because he was going to bash in The Rock's head with that wrench. I was like, get the fuck out of here. The Rock knocks him through a wall.
Yeah.
Into a table. Mm-hmm. He's not getting up from that.
No.
And then they also had him fight Jason Statham in the Furious 7. And he does the rock pound or whatever the fuck it is. What's it called?
The rock bottom?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
The rock pound? Jesus Christ, Brandon.
I was just like, yeah, Jason Statham's not getting up from that. He did a rock bottom into a glass table.
Yeah. Listen, man, I've rock bottomed some people in my day. That does not feel, yeah. Oh, yeah. Middle of high school.
Does it actually hurt to do these wrestling moves?
Yeah. Yeah, bro. I mean, you can move your body in ways, if you know how to fall, so you don't take like the full brunt of the damage. Yeah. But like, you're getting like some micro fucking pain from that at the very least. Mm. Yeah, because I've done some wrestling moves. I've done some weird shit, and I mean, like, well, what
was your wrestler name?
No, I didn't wrestle.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like,
no.
You're gonna tell us your like name was like Chocolate Sunday or something.
Like Chocolate Thunder. No, I'm saying like I've done some like physical things and like done some stunt work and things like that. Your people's like, oh yeah, but it's a stuntman, but that stuntman is getting fucked up at least a little bit. And when you say a little bit, it's like for normal people, that's a lot. Because you're learning how to fall and all that kind of stuff. Tell you the truth, man, talk about the fucking bike accident. If I didn't know how to fucking fall, I would have really been fucked up.
Yeah. Also, I mean, they don't get paid that much either.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
I am never going to financially recover from this.
Oh, Justin, how can people follow you?
Guys, you can follow me at jbrownditter on Twitter and Instagram. Brandon?
You guys can follow me at American Collins, AmericanCollins.com. You can follow the show at Medium P Podcast and all social media platforms. All things Medium Popcorn and MediumPopcorn.com. And Justin, the people feel so inclined, which they should. We've been doing this show for so long. How can they support the show financially?
Patreon.com/Medium Popcorn, y'all. Patreon.com/Medium Popcorn. We have tons and tons of episodes on there, aka our entire backlog goes to Patreon. We also have the rant. We have What Am I Watching? We have the Zoom nights. We have so much stuff, and even like the live read, paid in full. Which, if you haven't listened to, how dare you? That's probably one of the gems of Medium Popcorn. Shout out to Craig Lindsay. But if you're feeling extra froggy after that, take yourself over to tpublic.com/Medium Popcorn. Get yourself some swag. I feel like we got to drop something soon, man.
Well, at the time of this recording, and when this episode is being released, TeePublic is actually having a sale. $13 T-shirts and everything else up to 35% off. So as soon as you listen to this, folks, go to tpublic.com. Try to find yourself some Medium Popcorn swag.
Strike while the iron is hot, baby.
Mm-hmm. From the rooter to the tutor.
Yes. And also leave us a voicemail. You know, if you guys want to, tell us your favorite Medium Popcorn moment. Sing us your version of the Medium Popcorn song.
Oh, please do.
Oh, at 347-508-0978.
Make me a happy girl. Want to hear that song?
Oh, he feels like a woman. Bat, bat, da, 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 da.
I hate you too, little nigga.
Bye, y'all.
Medium Popcorn. We are two niggas spoiling movies. Yeah. Brandon Collins, that's me. And Justin Brown for your movie needs. Medium Popcorn. Woo! You haven't seen it, well, we're gonna spoil it.
Spoil it in your face.
That's your warning.